Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones is really in over his head. He really is. He got all those Sandy Hook families coming for him, and they want millions and millions of dollars from Alex Jones. And Alex has jumped up and tried to file Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and he's getting opposition. He's saying what he's doing is an abuse of the system. So they don't want him to file the bankruptcy. And he is, boy, Alex, you wrote yourself a check your butt can't cash on this Sandy Hook stuff. Those families are coming hard at him. So Alex Jones, the far right Infowar broadcaster and ally of President Donald J. Trump, has spent 25 years and reaped millions of dollars stoking suspicion and defiance of what he calls the federal deep state. Now, with his conspiracy empire under threat, Mr. Jones is seeking government relief. Y'all remember back in the day, these folks used to be on the soapbox about, I don't get anything from the government. I don't need anything from the government. I work hard and I do this and that. And come to find out, these folks are getting all kinds of government help. And remember, they were also the first ones begging for help from the government during the lockdown of 2020. They were all over the internet on videos begging for help. Y'all remember that, right? I sure do. Facing monetary damages for smearing the families of Sandy Hook shooting victims, Mr. Jones last week filed for emergency relief in federal bankruptcy court, a move that monitor from the Justice Department bankruptcy unit, Kevin Epstein, called potential abuse of the bankruptcy system. In an objection filed to Judge Christopher Lopez. So the Justice Department filed an objection to his bankruptcy that he was attempting to file. Oh man, Alex, ooh, who did you piss off? Okay, Mr. Epstein said in a motion seemed to be an effort by Mr. Jones to delay the damages trial and force the families into a settlement dictated by him while keeping control of his business. He added that approval of Mr. Jones' plan risks purposefully stacking the deck against the most vulnerable creditors. Days later, Mr. Jones reached out to the Justice Department looking to share, listen to this, he's getting ready to squeal, looking to share what he knows about January 6, 2021. What do you know, Alex? Oh, how convenient. When things don't go right for you, you're ready to blow the whistle. The worst kind of snitch. So he's contacting the Justice Department to spill the beans about January 6, 2021, Capitol riot in exchange for immunity from prosecution. Oh, Alex, you are a coward. You are a coward. An immunity deal seems unlikely. Two people familiar with Mr. Jones's offer said he's willing to go to the Justice Department and squeal about everything he knows about January 6th in exchange for immunity. Ooh, Alex, Alex, Alex. Mr. Jones' maneuvers come amid growing recognition among some far right conspiracy theorists that pushing the boundaries of a legal public discourse carries potentially heavy personal consequences. More than 200 of the roughly 800 people arrested after January 6th insurrection have pled guilty to the charges. Ali Alexander, Stop the Steal organizer who marched with Mr. Jones to the Capitol after Mr. Trump's speech on January 6th, received a grand jury subpoena and is cooperating with the Justice Department investigation. Oh, Alex, you were there. Oh, okay. Mr. Jones portrayed himself as a fearless truth teller, defending the First Amendment against government efforts to silence him. But his response to the January 6th investigation and the Sandy Hook lawsuit suggests he is chiefly interested in protecting his livelihood. Sued for defamation by the families of 10 Sandy Hook victims. Yeah, they can ready to clean his clock. Mr. Jones has lost the case last year, and he's been working to shield his fortune from coming damages awards. Hey, Alex is afraid of becoming broke. That's what this is all about, y'all. He's scared he gonna end up broke. Even as described, his offer to cooperate, Mr. Jones unleashed a barrage of false claims against the government. My God, he said on his show last week. The FBI and Justice Department fingerprints are all over this damn thing, and you want to come ask me about it. You want to find out what's really happened and what don't you look in the damn mirror and tell me. Oh, Alex, Alex, Alex. See, you know what it is? He talks so bad about the government. And now he's going to that same government for help, and they are shutting the door in his face. That's what's happening. So he's panicking. Mr. Jones, who broadcast his conspiracy theory ads selling diet supplements, doomsday prepper gear, videos, and other goods aimed towards his listeners' distrust of the government, reaped revenues of $56 million in 2021. One of his lawyers estimated last week. Well, that's an estimate. It doesn't say he really got that. I don't think he got that, but that's my opinion. Because you know these folks, they like to over exaggerate everything, especially their wealth. After the December 14th, 2012 shooting that killed 20 first graders and 6 educators at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, Mr. Jones bolstered traffic to his InfoWars store while broadcasting lies that the massacre was staged and the government pretext for draconian gun control, and that the families were actors in a plot. In 2018, the families of 10 Sandy Hook victims and an FBI agent implicated in the false claims sued Mr. Jones for defamation in 4 separate lawsuits in Connecticut and Texas. Over 4 years of litigation, Mr. Jones racked up more than $1 million in court sanctions for blowing court headlines, evading court orders for documents and testimony, and submitting business records that were erroneous. Damn, and fabricated. He turned in fake business records to the court. Wow, Alex, man. In late 2021, the judge in each trial ruled Mr. Jones liable by default, a sweeping victory for the families. Juries will next decide how much Mr. Jones must pay in damages in trials that were supposed to begin this week. That's why he's running around trying to file bankruptcy, because he's trying to disrupt the court proceedings from moving forward. That's what he's doing. And they see straight through what he's doing. So the suit accuses Mr. Jones of drawing $18 million out of InfoWars between 2018 and 2021, plus his $600,000 annual salary, and fueling The $54 million to shell companies. Oh, you got a bunch of shell companies, don't you, Alex? Okay. Moves designed to siphon off the Jones debtors' assets to make them judgment proof. Not so fast, Alex. Not so fast. So, look like Alex is in over his head financially. I don't think the courts are going to rule in his favor. If this thing goes to trial and he's going to be given this astronomical amount to pay, and it just don't look like he's going to be able to get out of this whole thing with a bankruptcy, because there are objections to him filing this bankruptcy. So it's not easy. Alex, boy, he is really backed up in the corner between those Sandy Hook families and the Justice Department and people within the court system saying he is abusing the system. Mm-mm-mm. Boy, Alex is spiraling all around inside the toilet bowl right now. But y'all gonna have to tell me what you think about this judge that is falling upon Alex Jones for real. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video.